bigger towns, larger cities, metropolis, industrial wasteland, whatever the hell this is. Adjustable biome loot stage and game stage, expanded daylight length options, more water filters and loot, alignment fixes, quality of life improvements, and live out every supervillain's wet dream of controlling the world's weather. Welcome, survivors. This is Eerie Knight, and today I am excited to bring you all the newest update to the Pseudo Posse ModGen GUI. For those that missed our first video, I made a GUI that is capable of automatically generating custom 7 Days to Die mods in 3 simple steps. Step 1, pick your mod. Step 2, pick your options by preset values from the drop-down box or type them in. Step 3, generate. Oh wait, what is that? Just a friendly reminder in case you forgot to click that checkbox. You can all download the latest version from our Patreon page. You do not need to be a paying patron to access the link. Everyone can download and use it. For an in-depth tutorial, check out our original video, link in the description below. Now on to the new stuff. I've listened to all your feedback from the comments in the first video, and while not all of them have made it into this update, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about your suggestions. Let's start with one of the biggest changes to the GUI, the new environment mod category. First thing you'll notice is the navigation panel on the left side here is now scrollable, so I can add more categories in the future without running out of room. I know, shocking, right? This next category has 4 available mods to start with. Let's go through each in order. The first is the world settings, which currently just consists of one option, the daylight length. Each of these numbers in the comma-separated list here will set the options to the game's UI of available daylight length options. So if you want daylight 24 hours a day, no problem. Just manually add that in there and bam, forever daylight. Vampires beware. Random world generation. Generate the maps you want with this mod. In the configurable options, select the world size you want to mod. Tiny effects maps up to 5K, small up to 7K, medium up to 10, and large up to 16K. For each world size, there are in general the following categories: default, many, min tiles, max tiles. In the game's random world generation settings, the player can set how many towns will spawn by setting it to few, default, or many. The default and many options in the GUI will override the game's values for these settings to be whatever you want. The game's default values are the top ones from the drop-down menu, so raise or lower to your desired town or city count. Min tiles and max tiles control the minimum and maximum size of a town or city, so increasing these will make the cities considerably larger. Be warned, you can do some crazy stuff when adjusting the values, like this abomination here. So just play around with the values till you find something that suits your needs. Scrolling to the bottom are the options to the district spawns. Again, all the top values are the game's default, and increasing any of these numbers will increase the probability that you'll see more commercial type sectors, downtown industrial, pretty much everything that can populate a town or city. So if you want a mighty industrial complex, lower the probabilities of everything else and ramp industrial up a notch. Want a towering metropolis? Bump up that commercial. You control what you want. Speaking of control, how about that weather? In each biome, you can adjust the temperature, cloud thickness, precipitation, fog, and wind. These are the weather parameters that are tied to each weather event. A weather event is something like a rainstorm, snow, or just a nice sunny day. So default is a given biome's default weather system, usually bright, nice weather, and usually has the highest probability to occur. The other weather systems consist of fog, rain, storm, blood moon horde weather, and the snow within the snow biome. Top values are the game's default, so you can adjust these to your taste based on that. It is important to note that the probabilities of all the weather systems in a biome add up to 100. So Pine Forest, for example, has an 83% chance of the default weather system, 7% for fog, 7% for rain, and 3% for storm. Blood Moon Horde is not counted in that total. All probabilities must total 100, so if you change one, you will need to change all. From the drop-down menu, the presets are correlated, so all the second items from the drop-down add to 100, same with the third, and naturally the first, the game's default. Right now, it is a bit cumbersome with how long the options are to do that, so I'm probably at some point going to redesign this. If any of you have any suggestions for improving the layout, let us know in the comments below. I'm kind of thinking to include all the probabilities as a single entry for a given biome, and perhaps try to condense some of the other options into combined options to reduce the length of this mod. Any suggestions will be helpful. You can definitely have fun with this mod and do some truly bizarre or nightmarish things. Constant storms in the wasteland with the temperatures ranging from 10 to 100 degrees? Awesome, right? The last mod in the environments tab is the biome difficulty, which allows you to change the loot stage and game stage biome bonuses. Again, the game's default are the top options. Increasing the loot stage will give you better loot based on your current player level, and increasing the game stage will make the zombies you face that much more difficult. Thirsty, anyone? As I discussed in my Dew Collector video, find finding a water filter is exceedingly rare and can only spawn from destroyed dew collectors. Well, not anymore. I've added a variety of additional loot containers water filters can now spawn from. This list is certainly not limited and I can expand it in the future. I did receive a great suggestion just before releasing this video to add water filters to water coolers. You asked for it, you got it. If you have another great suggestion, let us know in the comments. Anyway, from the drop-down menu, you can select the probability of it appearing in that container. For example, say we only want to add water filters to the working stiff crates. Enable the slider, and from the drop-down menu, we have very low all the way to guaranteed. Mousing over the probability shows you the percentage associations. Very low equals 5%, while guaranteed is 100. So if you want bountiful water filters, just set everything to guaranteed and let it rain. Do not edit these boxes, as these are the only acceptable values. In a future release, I will disable the editing of these inputs to only be able to select the preset options. But for now, just don't do it. Some other fixes and quality of life things are now the widgets are universal and thus have universal alignment. Before it was just ugly, so that bothered me. Yeah. I rewrote most of the original code to more automate the generation of all the buttons and labels and widgets for a given mod. Essentially, I can now create all the mod's associated options and widgets from a text file, and it automatically places everything in the appropriate spot. It was a pain to set up, but will allow me to more rapidly create new mods and options moving forward, which is why the mods new to this release, like the weather, have a couple hundred options, which before would have taken me eons to create. I'd still be setting that up now. I already showed the nifty reminder to click the checkbox, and in future releases, I want to expand on this. Perhaps some feedback to let you know when the XML files were successfully written to your folder, a button to click that directly takes you to that folder. Just spitballing some ideas now. Let us know what features will make your lives easier. Another thing I started doing with the new mods is making the game's default values the top option, and at some point, I want to go back and do that for the original mods I set up. Also, a tooltip stating something to that effect, as one commenter previously had mentioned that idea, which I love. Last but not least are some enhancements requested for the soon-to-come trader page. As always, please let us know what new mods and things you'd like to see in the future releases. From the original video, I have a list of suggestions from all you guys and gals, including but not limited to silencing trader voices, random zombie walk speed, unbreakable blocks, a new weapons mod category that can adjust ammo count, shots per second, whatever parameters, removing the POI biome skulls, increasing backpack slots, new blocks, easier upgrades, improved structural integrity, and several others. Thank you all for the overwhelming positive feedback from the past video. It is greatly motivating to hear all your insightful suggestions, and I look forward to hearing more. I'd also like to give a special shout out to all of our wonderful patrons who have provided some additional feedback and whose access to development versions of the GUI have given me invaluable insight into the future direction. I'll keep you all updated on any ModGen related news in the community tab or on our Patreon page. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.